So we're currently 0-1, and this hand is kind of weird. We're on the draw, and we have a one-lander. We have a path that we can definitely play, and then we have a talisman that represents a third mana if we draw a second land. So I actually think that this hand is good enough to keep, even though it's kind of weird. This could go south if, you know, our second land is a Celestial Colonnade, for example, which means that we can't even turn on our talisman, nor do we have any, like, 2-mana plays for the next turn, but I do think this is worth keeping. Of course, if our opponent's playing Burn, might just get wrecked. Drawing the 5-drop is not where we want to be, I'll tell you that much. Ojutai, you stink. You stink. So, Blood Crypts and Swamp, those are good signs, I think. I think we have to fetch a black-white duel. I mean, we could also just not fetch, which is certainly reasonable, but I don't really want to be taking extra damage. So, I don't know. Like, we definitely need a duel, because we need our 2 lands to make black, so we can cast Liliana. So I think we are going to fetch, even though we only have 1 land. So it decreases our chances of drawing a land a little bit, but I do believe it is worth it for the 2 life. And now we just discard Lingering Souls. So still in a very awkward situation. I mean, we have 25 land in our deck. I think, you know, we're favored. We're like 80% or something, but of course, you don't get there all the time. It's just how it works. So my opponent is also refusing to do anything, possibly because I'm discarding. But there's the land we wanted, and I think we should go straight into Talisman because we have the Liliana. Also, we still get to keep Path open. I suppose our opponent could be playing like the Gristlebrand deck. Would be interesting. Be happy to play against that. I have not played against that in Modern yet, and I've been playing a lot of Modern recently, so it's kind of weird. So what are we doing here? Fulminator Mage. That's kind of mean. We just got here. We just got our second mana source. Now you're just going to kill one. It's not very nice. Not very nice at all. At least we can still cast Lingering Souls. Maybe just path our 2 tokens. I don't know. It's possible. It is possible. Build our own Rampant Growth. Ooh, Bitter Blossom. That's a sweet card. Oh, we're pretty close to casting the Tassiger, too. I guess I should have pathed the token main phase. But Slaughter Pact is likely not doing much for us anyway. Opponent could have Rabble Master, I suppose. Bad Moon. Well, then the Slaughter Pact is definitely not doing anything for us. It's time. It's time to build some Rampant Growths. Do we want Swamp for Liliana? Or do we want an island? I think we want a Swamp for the first one. Island for the second. Big Daddy Ojutai. Big Papa. So it's going to be tough to get through 2/2 Bitter Blossom tokens with Ojutai, but we'll try and make it happen. I'm a little skeptical since my opponent has all their mana untapped and everything. If we Inquisition, We could do something like Snap Path or Snap Inquisition, but I want to see what my opponent's working with here. Can't cast Liliana this turn, but Liliana's not doing a whole lot anyway. Gatekeeper of Malak here, my word. My word. Brutal Horde Chief, wow. Alright, we're going to Snipping Tool this. So I will almost certainly forget some of these cards. So I think we're going to take the Terminate. No, maybe not. No, we are. So if we take Terminate and attack with Ojutai, Fairies will double block. We can Snap Path 1 and they can just use Lightning Bolt to finish it off. So we're probably just not even going to attack with Ojutai at all this turn. So I could see just playing Tasigur. And then we can't Snapcast or anything if we only pay 1 mana. So maybe we just do it for 4. Or alternatively, we do it for 2, and then we have Gatekeeper protection with Snapcaster. But I guess you could just bolt the Snapcaster too. That would also kind of be a fine trade, though, considering where our life is at here. Oh, I forgot the Inquisition was resolving actually. So we still have some play here. I could play Tasigur and still have Snap Path open if I wanted to. So what we really want to do is get Elesh Norn into play. So I want to draw a Gifts. A Gifts would be fantastic. Brutal Horde Chief, huh? So this is the effect of Modern Masters, where it gives brewers a chance to brew for a fairly low cost. And he's just going to use one of those bolts to go upstairs. I'm definitely fine with that. Firing them both off. Interesting. Interesting. So now I can Snap Path one of these tokens. Liliana another. Oh, wow. They're just coming in. I'm not sure what that means. Am I supposed to Snap Path the attacking one or the defending one? Maybe the defending one. Okay, definitely fine with that. Means you're not terminating Ojutai. So now we know our opponent's hand again, which is good. Although this turns on Brutal Horde Chief and the like, so this is kind of dangerous. But we can also just play Liliana, get rid of this last token, so our opponent doesn't have anything to attack with. And since they use the bolts, we still have the Snapcaster. Now we have Mana Leak back up too, which is pretty tight. So we get to crash in for half our opponent's life points. Pick up another path if we want it, or just a land. Land might also be acceptable. I think we'll just take the path. And then play Liliana. So now it's going to be pretty hard for our opponent to get any traction. So, yeah, maybe they attacked a little bit too soon. Because if they just kept like their 2/2 fairies back on defense, the Ojutai would not have been able to attack really. And yeah. Now I think we just win the game since we got an opening that we desperately needed. So thankfully our opponent wasn't doing much while we were not doing much. Alright. What do you think? Is Celestial Purge going to be good here? Pretty sure it is. Iona on black, also perhaps quite good. I'm not sure if that's better or worse than Elesh Norn, though. Elesh Norn can get terminated, but I do think I want both in my deck. Maybe it's this Sun Titan that can go. Tasker could also potentially go. Slaughterbeck can certainly go. Didn't see enough of my opponent's deck to know if Dark Blast is going to be good, but regardless, they have Bad Moon, so Dark Blast could potentially go south. I guess, like, Gatekeeper is a thing that Leyline of Sanctity could turn off. They could also have Discard. They had Rakdos' Return, which Leyline could shut off. Lightning Bolt 2. So, maybe we want these Leylines. Liliana did not strike me as particularly good, but it still looked alright. Maybe Spell Snare is not very good because of, you know, like the presence of like Brutal Horde Chief and like these big creatures. So I could see like cutting snares and just like cutting cards that could potentially be dead for things that are a little more powerful, a little more versatile. So the discard still seems okay. I like basically everything that's going on here. Just need to find 2 more cuts. Maybe the Timely is not very good, but it seemed like our opponent was kind of aggressive. Certainly willing to bolt our face and like that Brutal Horde Chief and whatnot, so. But I don't know, maybe like Remand and Thoughtseize are not good, for example. Could totally see that. Maybe Path is not good, actually. I don't know. All depends on what's in our opponent's deck. If they have Dark Confidant, we probably want Dark Blast, even though they have Bad Moon, so. I don't know, we'll keep the Paths. They're cheap. They kill Brutal Horde Chief. This is a Sunken Ruins hand, so we're getting a lot of, like, 1-land hands with our 25-land deck, which is kind of unfortunate. So we're going to mulligan along with our opponent. And we're in the same spot where we have, like, a 1-lander with a Talisman and a Path and a Souls, so. We'll see what happens. Draw the land immediately, which is good. I could see us getting black-blue. Bitter Blossom is tough to beat. Maybe our Talisman gets blown up by Kolagon's Command. Maybe that's a card we should have played around. But we have to get black with our duel for sure. So it's black-white or black-blue. I think black-white. We have way more blue sources in the deck than anything else. And I think we have to cast Talisman instead of like sitting on Mana Leak, so I don't think we can get Watery Grave. Well, there's a Bobby. Bobby. And I think we just path that and play a Souls on our turn. So Talisman kind of doing some work, also kind of being awkward. Drawing a lot of these Snapcaster Mages. Let's draw all of them every game. Blood Artist, alright. Interesting. Blood Artist is quite the combo with Bitter Blossom. Alright, we're stuck on lands, got some useless cards, not really sure what my plan is here. I think I'm going to end up casting Snapcaster and pathing the Blood Artist. Yep. I could also just take the 2 here, see if my opponent plays anything that's worth leaking. But I don't want to take all that damage. I think if I, like, draw out the game, get to my late game, I should be okay. Rakdos Charm? What the garbage? What the actual garbage? Got me good, sir. Got me good. Did not play around the Rakdos Charm, and look how punished we got. Jesus. Opponent just going to town on me. Don't think my opponent's going to block, but he certainly could. Yeah. Feel like you just take it and hit me back. Well, what am I doing here? I think we're just keeping leak open. Hopefully draw a land so we can souls with another leak open. But we're losing life rather quickly, and with no way to kill that Blood Artist, we could be in trouble. Yeah, definitely got to leak that. Timely? I guess that was indeed timely. Well, now our opponent's blocking. Doesn't really change anything. Thought we could sneak in another 2 points there. Is our opponent going to cast stuff into our open mana? Can our opponent even cast anything right now? That's also a good question. Might just have a bunch of Brutal Horde Chiefs. Who knows? Well, there's land 4. Brutal Horde Chief would be indeed brutal. Aristodad. Alright, we need that Dark Blast. I guess this is the Arista Mother. Oh, there's a path. That's good. Don't really want to get Rakdos Charmed again. Guess opponent could sack first to drain me instead of just trading. I don't really want to get Rakdos Charmed, so yeah, I think we just path the Aristocrat now. So now our opponent's got all the mana in the world. And we are still trying to fight through this Bitter Blossom somehow. And Mana Leak and Path to Exile is not really a combo, but what are you going to do? Oh man, Lane Line shuts off Blood Artist too? That's so great. Boil? What? What just happened? What a jerk. What a jerk. Boil is pretty aggressive against the 3-color deck, not gonna lie. Definitely glad I've been fetching Godless Shrine. Yeah, bring it. I'm gonna hit you back. See how you like it. Aw, yeah, Liliana. Alright, take 4 down to 7. We have 6 things versus your 4. Guess I need to play around Lightning Bolt. Opponent bolted us pretty early in game 1, though. Bitter Blossom Blood Artist Aristocrat is pretty nice. I have seen some Aristocrats decks lately. There was one that I did for Daily Digest that went up on Monday. I'm not sure if that deck had Blood Artist and Bleeder Blossom, though. Both of those cards seem great. I have the hiccups. My apologies. So we're representing Lethal here. Lingering Souls is able to outpace Bitter Blossom, as it generally does. And we are just the battle of the awkward decks. I could just pass, I guess. I don't really want to do that, though, because I think I'm still in a winning position here. Get to edict away our opponent's last creature since we drew Liliana. And then they go to 1, hopefully can't kill us. Even if they have something like Rakdos' Return, we can mana leak it potentially. If they do have a Lightning Bolt and a thing that we have to leak, we are dead though. But now I think they might just die to their Bitter Blossoms, which is pretty sweet. Tage wins. Alright, we defeated the Blood Artist deck. Successfully pathed our opponent's 3 creatures despite getting Rakdos Charmed. Double Lingering Souls went all the way. So yeah, not exactly how I expected the deck to play out, but hey, you know, you play the cards as you draw them. Don't necessarily expect to draw Gifts Ungiven every game, and the rest of the deck is still serviceable. So there you go. Currently 1-1. These Ghost Quarters are killing me. I absolutely hate them. I think you just die to Tron. You're just like, whatever. Who cares? Like, these Ghost Quarters are not worth it. Absolutely not. They've just been screwing us over completely. So, step 1 is get these Ghost Quarters out of the deck. Step 2, I suppose, is continue to play more matches and see how we feel. So, on to match 3.